Right, we're up at Coliseum with Mark. How are we doing?
I'm good, mate. Thanks very much for coming to visit us. I appreciate it.
More than welcome, mate. My co-pilot wondered where we was going. Like we're at the edge of the earth, he said. Going past Glasgow with 25 to go.
Yeah.
But I've done a little bit of filming of your setup here, mate. Cracking little setup.
Thanks ever so much, mate.
So, give us a little bit of an insight, Mark, to what you'd done previous, before you started the gym and getting involved.
I always had an interest in boxing and kickboxing from a really young age, but never really committed to anything. And it was a few years ago, I was widowed and I was left alone with 3 boys, and it was pretty bad. My mental health was suffering, and drinking a lot. And one of my wee boys came to me one day and said, Dad, why are you so sad all the time? And
did you really?
Yeah. And it was then, it had a massive, profound effect on me. And I needed something. And I was sat with my 3 friends one night, funnily enough, having another beer. And we were watching the UFC. And I turned around and I says, I'm going to do that. And they all just kind of laughed at me. And I was like, no, I'm going to do that. And then the next minute I started hitting boxing gyms. I started doing a bit of judo, some grappling, and then, boom, I stumbled across Thai and kickboxing again, and it was...
And had you been involved in it in any capacity before that, Mark? Or?
I'd done a little bit, like I said, my granny was a really good judoka, believe it or not, back in the day. So I'd had some involvement with some stuff in that, but again, when I was younger, it was mostly rugby and stuff that I was into. So it wasn't until the boys, I'd really took to it, so to speak.
So you started training. Do you have any fights, Matt?
Yeah. I had a few K1 fights. I had a few Thai fights. I'd done a few white collar boxing.
Enjoy it?
Yeah, it was great, but I was too old. I was too old and liked eating pizza too much and drinking beer.
So was you any good?
I wasn't a world beater.
No.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it when the cage door would shut or you would jump in the ring, and for that 15, 20 minutes.
That was your moment.
Yeah, it was just everything, nothing else mattered, and everything that was going on in the background kind of blanked out. So
for that, like you said, that was your moment.
Yeah.
And you loved every bit of that.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I was really lucky. I mean, I moved to Doncaster a few years ago to stay with family, and I had a really amazing opportunity to go and train. I was like half an hour to an hour away from all these big gyms and all these big fighters, and go and spend some time and learn off of them. So in that year and a half, I tried to sponge as much information as I could.
As well as training, Mark, was you a gym watcher? Did you actually just go and try and pick up on what different gyms were doing?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, being on my own with 3 kids, it was like every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it would be fill the bag and let's just go. And we would go to different gyms, we would go to inter-clubs, we would go and meet these people and stuff, and it was...
and were the kids there from day one?
Yeah. It's like they had no really choice in the matter, and then and then like 9 times out of 10, after a while, they really started to love it and enjoy it themselves and that, no?
Brilliant. So you continued training?
Yeah.
A while. Where was that at, Matt? Where was you based up here?
Up here, I spent a little time with a smaller gym in my local area, and then the kids started training with Keith McLaughlin up at the Grip House. So when I could, I would do the morning classes and stuff, and then I would go to boxing gyms further afield. And then further a wee bit further up north and stuff like that as well.
At School Central there, really, at the Grip, aren't you? Right?
Yeah.
Correctly, don't we?
Yeah, I never fought for the Grip or anything like that. But I would go up in the mornings and stuff like that and try and help with getting my weight down and whatnot and that. And then before I knew it, the boys they'd overtook me. They're already 10 times better than me.
when was you actually sat at home, probably having a can of Stella, and you thought, you know what, I fancy a bit of this coaching?
It was. I was due to fight on Cage Steel in Doncaster, and the opponent pulled out. And this was like a year and a bit ago. And then I got offered another fight, K1 in the cage, another opponent. And then I woke up one day and there was like shadowing in my eye. And I was like, oh, it's nothing. So I went to the optician, and the optician says, oh, I think it might be, you might have a cataract, but it's to do with like constantly taking shots because I've got a really crap guard. And that's why I'm surprised. But I ended
what's
up.
that excuse?
I ended up blind in my left eye.
Blimey.
And then after that, I got a back injury, and then I got a neck injury, and I was like, I just can't do it anymore. And see, like, not having a beer and not being able to eat pizza and live like a rabbit, as you can see, I'm a fine figure of a man, so it's hard to do.
From this side of the table, you're really aspiring to be one. So then you thought, right, let's have a go at coaching.
Yeah, well, my wee boy Cody, he's autistic, and I wanted to do something for kids who were disabled that were having trouble getting bullied. So I sat with my friend Robbie, and I was like, do you know, I would really like to do something for disabled kids in the area to give them like tools and ways of getting out of if they were being troubled or if they were being hit or bullied and stuff. So I opened up. I went and seen one of the guys in the fitness at Urban Fit, Andy, and he was so nice. Like he offered us a space, and we started off with a couple of kids. My two kids also, like they were still training in the grip house 2 nights a week.
And did you identify like a big section of like the classes? Oh no, obviously not a lot with autism, but could you identify like these kids here need something doing special for them?
Yeah.
Do you think there was not levelling this at anyone? Was there a little bit of exclusion going on back in the day, would you say? Yeah,
I would think so. I think a lot of people, if you've not dealt with somebody who has autism, or if you've not had any dealings with a kid who's got like ADHD or a kid with Downs and stuff, there's still quite a lot of stigma attached to it. So my whole thought process behind it was to include everyone and get everybody working together so that we could educate kids on it a little bit more, so we could take the stigma away, and so that kids, when they're training with kids with disabilities, or if they're even in school after their training, if somebody was to say something out of sorts, but no, that's not wrong, they're actually really good kids, and just to try and educate on disabilities a little bit more.
Because even in the main school structure, I mean, it's a lot better now than it used to be.
It is.
20 ago, kids with ADHD, well, there wasn't. People didn't probably even identify with ADHD.
Yeah, I mean, there was no kind of diagnosis or anything like that. You would just be sat down and labelled as a naughty kid.
Yeah,
and you would be shunted to the side. And I've seen a lot of that with other gyms and stuff as well. And so that's...
So we'll break off there and we'll come back for part 2.
Okay.
So that was your main focus, that let's do something with this section of children that are probably a little bit excluded.
Yep.
And then we'll come back with that, and then we'll talk about the start of the Coliseum and where we went from there.
Okay.
Cheers, mates.